Well, I think we got to just execute a little better on both sides of the ball, all phases. We played those guys tough in the first half. I think we outplayed them in the first half, and we was behind 7 points, as we did. I thought Women Mary, and it was tied up at halftime. So we got to do a better job of taking advantage of our opportunities when we outplay people. And we didn't do that in that game. We got off to a bad start with T.J. Mix and muffing the punt, and they recovered it, get them a short 3-yard touchdown. Then another play, we caused a fumble, and they called targeting, and they gave them the ball back, and they got 3 out of that. So that was the 10 points that they scored in the first half. And we didn't take advantage offensively on our opportunities when we got in the red zone and get touchdowns out of it. We missed a touchdown throw and got 3 points. No, and I think that got blocked. And then we got another field goal. We got bogged down. So we didn't execute, and I think the team has to learn how to execute, take advantage of the opportunities, and when you play well, it need to reflect it. But we was kind of happy to only be down 7 as bad as we played in the first half. The defense played good, but I thought we was in a good position because we had the ball coming out. If we can come out and get a mount a drive and get a score, it'd be 7-7. It's a new ball game. We drove it down, and then we threw another pick in the red zone and kind of deflated everybody. And then we got it back and started driving again. On a high snap, there was a running play. Jay tried to make something happen, and I always tell him, don't make a bad play worse, and that's what he did, and try to force that ball to Alonzo, for another pick, and that really kind of took the momentum away. So we just got to do a better job of protecting the ball, taking advantage of our opportunities when we get them.
This week you got Delaware State. What have you seen about Delaware State on film? Like, what can we do well to capitalize on anything that they don't do as well?
Well, they're well coached. Coach Carter is doing a great job with those guys here in the second year. You can see the improvement in that team from 2 years ago to last year to this year. They're better on defense, and they was always pretty good on defense. And offensively, they're better. They weren't very good last year on offense, and you can see the improvement in the offense. So we got to go down and be prepared to play for 60 minutes against a team that's looking for their first conference win, and we're looking for our second win. And we need to get it to stay on pace. We're at 2-1 in the conference, and we see what happened with A&T and Central and the teams that's undefeated in the conference.
When you were talking about the red zone situations, is there any particular drills you do on red zone? I mean, obviously the field shrinks a little bit when you get in the red zone. Is there any special thing you can do to practice?
No, you just have to practice it, and you have to execute at a high level because the windows are smaller. So you can't get a lot of penetration because the quarterback needs to be able to see and make a good crisp throw. And, the guy's got to break, and the ball has to be there. You can't be late in the red zone because the windows are so small, and you can't get a lot of pressure like we did against Wilma Mary, and the guy get a tip. You have to execute at a high level in the red zone, and we didn't do that last game, and we got to get that cleaned up because we normally are a pretty good team in the red zone.
Yeah, I was going to say you were 8 of 10 coming in, and then last year you were about 80% or something like that. So, I mean, do you look at this and think maybe this is just an anomaly?
Yeah, I mean, you can look at it that way and say for some reason, whatever reason it was, we just didn't execute in the red zone, which we normally do. So we got another week to prove that we are a good red zone team, and that's this week. So we got to get in the red zone, then get it in, and prove the stats right that we are a good red zone team most of the time.
How much of that do you put on North Carolina A&T's defensive front four as being pretty good? I mean, they really seem to rise to the occasion when they had to.
Well, you got to. You can't take anything away from those guys. They champions. They got a great defense, and they had a lot to do with it. But we dropped a couple touchdown passes. We missed a touchdown pass. We got a field goal block that we kicked low. So they really didn't block that. We kicked that low. We missed Proctor in the end zone. Alonzo dropped 2 touchdowns in the end zone. So it's a little bit of both. I think it was more of us, but you can't take anything away from those guys. They got a good football team, and they put a lot of pressure on us also.
I was also thinking that because the running backs accounted for about 40 yards rushing too. It just seemed like there was just no room for the backs to get inside.
Yeah, they did a good job on our running game, and so we went with the passing game, and we actually, you know, J.J. threw for 388 yards, but he had a couple touchdown passes. But we bottled down in the red zone. Even the fourth down play we threw to Mixon, Ronald Bell was wide open right behind him. And so, again, that's not something they did. That's something we didn't do, you know. So it was a little bit of both. You know, the guy that covered Mixon did his job, but if we throw to the right guy at that point, then we got a touchdown. So it's a little bit of both. And some of their pressure had something to do with that because they brought 6, and we only had 5 blocking. So that had a lot to do with Jay rushing the throw instead of making the read and getting it to Bell.
I was asking you about Proctor yesterday on the conference call. What kind of talk about what his skills are, what has made him so much more effective this year?
Well, he's an all-around receiver. He can block, and he has speed, he runs great routes, and has great hands. And he understands the offense and what we're trying to do, where the defense is coming from. And he's running the ball. His yak yards is his biggest improvement this year. He's looking to score, break tackles when he catches the ball, where in the past he was kind of more maybe just satisfied or was settled with just a catch.
What did the referees tell you about the targeting call on Carr?
The referee said he told me he had targeting. I asked him how can it be targeting the guy's like 2 feet off the ground, and the flag was late. So, you know, it is what it is. That's what he told me. He had targeting.
Not much of an explanation for a very huge call in the game.
No, it isn't. But you know what? They won't be calling for the next 2 weeks. That crew has been suspended for 2 weeks. So you do the crime, you got to do the time.
The game with Delaware State last year, as I recall, was fairly tight, 20, 27, 21-7, something like that. They give you a pretty good, tough game?
They did. I tell you, they got a good defense, always had a good defense. And, you know, of course, last year was Coach Carter's first year in his offense, making transitions, new coordinator, new players. Wasn't on the same page, wasn't clicking as well as they wanted to, and we did a good job on those guys. And, you know, the onside kick was the first play of the game last year and recovered it. So we have to be prepared for that type stuff and for a much better football team. And I told our guys that from week 1 that we got to go down and play well to get a win from these guys. They're playing good.
This is his second year, your third. I mean, you kind of look at them and think, yeah, this is sort of where we were a year ago and their transition.
Yes, it is. You know, our first year we was 3-9, and last year 6-5, and this year's to be determined. So Delaware State is kind of in that same position where they weren't very good last year, and now they're building their program and getting a little bit better. So it's a process for them, just like it was for us, and you can see the improvements in Coach Carter's team.
It really looked like that, for the most part, other than stopping Cohen, obviously, your defense played fairly well.
They did.
Especially in the first half.
Especially in the first half. They really played very well in the first half. And like you said, Cohen got loose on us in the second half with basically 3 runs, and that was the difference. You know, we had him boggled up, and he reversed the field and spin out of there, and down the sideline he goes. So he's a great player, and that's the type of stuff you just can't coach and you can't prepare for. Like Barry Sanders, you know, not a lot of blocking, and he rushed for 100 yards, and he's all pro and Hall of Famer and never had any blocking. So it is what it is, and we just we try to keep him bottled up. We did a great job in the first half, but he got loose in the second half.
Greetings to you and welcome back to the HU Pirate Sports Network. I'm Jerome Barber here with Coach Maynor off of a tough loss down at North Carolina A&T. We're here to talk about the Aggies and then get ready for the Hornets. Greetings to you, Coach.
Thank you.
As I said, just a tough loss, but we have a philosophy here. It's not wins and losses and wins and learns. And so I want to find out what we learned down in Greensboro.
Yep. You know, we learned that we got a good football team, and we could play with anybody, as we showed we could play with those guys, especially in the first half. I thought we outplayed them, and we just didn't execute and take advantage of our opportunity we had in the red zone. And then we kind of shot ourselves in the foot a little bit with the muff punt and the targeting call that gave them back the ball, and they got 3 points out of it. So we know we can play with anybody in the league. We got to do a better job, clean up the penalties, execute and make the throws when you got to make it, make the catch when it's there to be made, and tackle and wrap up when you get the opportunity, because that's kind of what happens in the second half when Cohen got loose. We had him bottled up, and we didn't make the tackle, and they made the play, and then, boom, he's down the sideline for a big play. So we learned a lot from that game, and we're going to get better.
In spite of the drop passes, J.J. still came out looking good, 388 yards passing.
Yeah, he did. He had a good day throwing the ball. Proctor had 12 catches for 188, but J.J. had 388 passing, and it's not easy in this game at no level to throw for 388 yards, even though he did have a couple interceptions, a couple big interceptions. But still, to be able to throw the ball for 388 yards is not an easy feat, and he was able to do that.
Well, it shows we're not one-dimensional. They kind of shut down our running game.
Yes, sir, they did. They kind of shut down the running game and forced us to throw the ball, and that's what their defense is built upon, is stopping your run, forcing you to throw the ball, because they think that, if you force the quarterback to throw the ball, now you can get pressure and bring blitzes and twists, and then they can cover. And so they're trying to make you one-dimensional, and that's what they was able to do. And we was able to move the ball and get a lot of yards. We just weren't able to capitalize and get in the end zone in the red zone.
You mentioned penalties, and between the two teams, there's 20 penalties called. That's just a lot of penalties.
It is. That's too many. That's probably about 16 too many.
Yeah.
14 too many. Should be somewhere around 4 or 5 penalties, So we got to do a better job of that. We had some false starts, and then we had some personal fouls. Week 4, you shouldn't be doing those things. You shouldn't be jumping off sides. And we did it in the red zone, and it cost us some points. And we got targeting call and gave them the ball back after the turnover. So those penalties was huge in the game. Very big penalties.
Final score 31-9. North Carolina A&T winning that contest, but come back to the drawing board and get ready for Delaware State.
Yes, sir. Delaware State. Coach Carter's doing an excellent job with them guys in his second season. You can see the much improvement in that football team, offensively, defensively, and special teams. We know they got good special teams. They onside kicked this last year, recovered the opening kick. So we have to be ready for that. And, the defense is much improved, which was very good last year, held us to 21 points in a close game. And the offense has improved. They wasn't very good last year. We held them to 7, but they're even better. So we got them up there at their place this year, so we really got to be prepared to go in and play 60 minutes of Pirate football, mistake-free football, and take advantage of our opportunities.
Yeah, they haven't won a game as of yet, and so they'll probably pull out all the stops.
Oh, yeah, like I said, they onside kicked this last year, so we got to be prepared for onside kicks, fake punts, anything in all kind of tricks, because they're trying to get not only their first win, but their first conference win. So we have to be prepared for everything.
Well, we're talking to Coach Maynor, getting ready to hit the road to Delaware State. Kickoff time is 2 p.m. If you're in that area. Swing on by and check out the Pirates on the road. Safe travels to you, Coach, as we continue. We're still in the hunt.
Yes, sir. Oh, yeah, we're in good shape. We need some little help from North Carolina A&T, but if we can just take them one at a time and win the rest and wind up 7-1, we see what happens.
Fantastic. This is the HU Pirate Sports Network. I'm Jerome Barber here with Coach Maynor, getting ready to hit the road once again and take on Delaware State this Saturday. We are glad that you tune in, and we always love to say it as we close out this section. Go Pirates.